guys? Welcome back to Greasy 46. It's definitely been a while since we put out some videos, and I've got quite a few different things backlogged that I need to start getting filmed, or finish up filming and editing rather. But today we got something special. I've actually had this car for a few months now. I know in one of the past ones, I think when we went and picked up the bucket seat, we were also looking at another car to possibly trade the Z3 for. Well, obviously that one didn't work out. Just wasn't necessarily what I was looking for. But today, we'll finally get to show you the car that took the Z3's spot. And yeah, so very pretty exciting. Definitely, like, if I were to trade the Z for anything, it definitely this is probably like the smartest, best replacement for it with what I wanted. I wanted a little more room, but also I still like something that's sporty, you know, obviously. And then I kind of like having cars that you don't see too much of on the road, that are just kind of cool, and you know, for some reason people like them. Like, once you'll see it, you'll probably understand. But I didn't know too much about this car until the guy hit me up. I started doing some research, and they're pretty cool cars, but the brand is a little bit obscure now. You don't see too many of them. But yeah, without anything else, let's show you what we got. So this is her. It's a 2007 Saab 9.3 Aero, and it's got the 2.8 V6 turbo in it, 6-speed manual, so it didn't get no auto, and then it is front wheel drive, however not rear wheel, but it is still a lot of fun. So yeah, dude had this. He just wanted a car that he could start autocrossing again, so I guess he'd been looking for a Z3 for quite a while, and the Z3, you know, the Z3 I had was pretty clean overall for the year. The paint was really nice. After having it, the soft top life right now isn't necessarily for me. It's loud, and on top of that, it was starting to have some mechanical problems that I just didn't really want to deal with, and obviously I let him know for the most part, as much as I could. But yeah, so he was really happy with the Z. Obviously I'd like that car as well. It was definitely a very, very pretty car, and still very fun to drive. However, I wanted something a little more comfortable, a little bit bigger, 4-seater preferably, but still sporty, manual, and something kind of unique. So, you know, I think I got all that in this car, and yeah, so far I'm definitely happy with it. But I can give you all a little walk around. It's relatively low owner. I think I'm the 4th as far as Carfax knows. Clean title and everything. There were some reported front end and rear end collisions that were minor. And you can tell some of this stuff, there's a little bit of gap like on that headlight, and some of it doesn't line up perfectly, but again, I'm not super worried about little stuff like that. You know, it is what it is. But overall, very clean. It definitely had a respray within the last few years. I could tell before there was a little bit of overspray in some of the areas, but overall, no, whoever sprayed did a pretty damn good job. So yeah, pretty sweet. Definitely a little bit more of a unique car. I don't see a lot of Saabs on the road at all, but it is kind of weird how many people actually like know of the Saabs and like them. I didn't still like kind of being a car guy, I didn't really know a lot about the Saabs. Obviously I'd seen them here and there, but didn't really think anything of them. But I'll have people all the time like, hey man, that's a cool Saab, you know, like yada yada. So it's definitely pretty cool to see people around town like, hey, just give me comments and compliments on it. But yeah, I don't know what else to say really. It's a fun car. My first red car. I think it's pretty much my first car that's not been black, silver. I know the truck's brown, but like besides that, you know, I've never really had a car that had like a bright color. So this will be my first red car. Pretty sick. And like I said, turbo V6, so it makes decent power still. It makes 250, I think, for both, 250 both, so pound-feet and horsepower. We might be looking to change that soon and get a tune, which is pretty sweet. With all the turbo cars, you can get a tune for it, and for the most part, start making more power immediately, which is pretty sick for sure. But yeah, we'll go ahead and pop the hood, show you the interior, and see what that's looking like. Yeah, the interior is pretty nice. Obviously I kind of would have liked it black, but you know, it is what it is. Decent amount of room in there, and then obviously we got our 6-speed trans. The sound system is actually really, really good. Definitely bumps pretty well, but let's go ahead and pop the hood. And yeah, as you can see, it's somewhat tight in here. I mean, there's not a, like, compared to the E46 engine compartment, there's definitely a lot less room in here. Originally, the earlier model years came with a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, and then I guess they just decided to stuff a bigger engine in here. So obviously it's going to be a little bit tighter, but and it's transversely mounted, which is also pretty interesting. As far as I know, and then obviously the little baby turbo right here. But definitely a fun car. We just did some maintenance on it actually, so it didn't completely look like this when I got it. I didn't do anything crazy. I just cleaned it up, did a little bit of stuff here and there, and you'll see the video probably following this one with all that. But it was just kind of dirty. Some of the stuff was faded, so we gave it a nice wash, as you'll see in the next one. Did a headlight restoration kit, which definitely helped, but obviously they're still not great. And then we did a trim restore on all the black trim. That was all faded and looking kind of like white. Not, you know, like that gray color that the black will fade out to. So we'll probably have to touch it up again, but definitely looks a lot better. And then this kind of like, I don't know what you would call it. It's not a diffuser, but just kind of like this black trim piece that goes around the exhaust pipes. That was all faded, and the trim restore didn't really do anything for it, so we just masked it off and then did a flat black with some matte clear, and I think that turned out pretty damn well. So, but yeah, that's all I really wanted to do to this car anyways, just kind of not have to do too much work to it, but just be comfortable, relatively reliable, you know, as much as Euros can be, and just enjoy it really. So far it's been good. I've had to do a few things. Like I said, I've had it for a few months, so the ABS pump went bad on me, so it wasn't sending any fluid to the driver's front caliper, so that was kind of scary. A few times braking, but we swapped that out, and everything's all good now. We just did a little tune-up last week or 2 weeks ago. We did new air filter, spark plugs, and coil packs. I didn't really film it just because, I don't know, if you want to see, there's some other good videos out there getting these back 3 spark plugs, because it's mounted transverse. It's kind of interesting. You got to disconnect some wires and hoses and stuff, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, I can go ahead and fire it up. I mean, it doesn't sound like anything crazy because obviously exhaust is completely stock, and I don't really want to do any modifications to the exhaust just because it kind of, for me at least, defeats the purpose of having like a somewhat quiet, you know, comfortable car that I can take on long rides on the highway. It's not raspy or anything like that, and it's not droning. So I think I'm gonna keep it the way it is for now. But maybe in the future we'll cut off the mufflers in the back. But yeah, after the tune-up, we got her running real good. She was misfiring a little bit at the low RPMs before when you gave it like harder than just normal acceleration. So that's all good. We put step coulter spark plugs in there that one of the tuners recommended, so happy with that. And depending on what happens, I might get a tune for it, and it should boost it to 320 horsepower and 400 pound-feet. So definitely a big increase in torque. So we'll just have to see how the clutch does with that if I decide to get the tune for it. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for today, guys. So thanks for watching. Happy to see how this car fits in with everything else, and stay tuned for the next videos where we'll show you just the washing and the trim restoring on this, and then I'm sure we'll get some BMW stuff back in there soon. So thank you all, keep watching, and have a good one.
Florida. I think it was about a 19-hour drive over. There we go. All right, and away they go. Jack Davis out front. Both drivers working their way down the straight. Lewis Lawn's trying to keep as close as he can to Jack Davis, because once they get on throttle, Lewis Lawn, he's really
Jack Davis seemed to really slow.
Second half of the Scotty D versus Ryan Acevedo. Scotty D out front, both vehicles evenly matched in power as they make their way. Whoa, look at Scotty already smoking the tires.